Well, new at noon, the New Orleans Crime Coalition releasing its annual civic survey. 800 New Orleans residents were polled. The survey found 72% of the population finds New Orleans is off on the wrong track, while 19% of people say the city is moving in the right direction. In 2022, participants said 75% thought the city was moving in the wrong direction. Meantime, when participants were asked if they approve or disapprove of how public officials and organizations in the city are doing, 60% say they disapprove of how Mayor Cantrell is doing. 50% approve of the city council's work. 43% say they approve of the work interim police chief Woodfork is doing. 47% disapprove of Orleans Sheriff Susan Hudson's work.